fast forward a little bit. I know, time has passed. Like, what are you kind of like doing now? Like, what have you been up to? Like, how did that kind of transform from doing a couple of like wholesale deals to like where you're at today?
Yeah, so me and my business partner, she ended up moving away to different city after graduation. I moved to Houston, got a high-paying sales job. This is where a good life gets in the way of a great life. So
Yep.
I don't have any debt. I get a really high-paying sales job right out of college. So I was making like $90,000 a year with no debt. Plus, I have a roommate, so my living expenses is half. So I'm actually doing really well. I still have two rental properties from the first four deals that I did while in college. So I have that. But as far as real estate, I actually didn't do anything extra until 2011 when I got married. Now I'm starting to think about the future and like college funds and retirement and all this other stuff. So I ended up going to my wife and telling her within weeks of getting married. I told her, I was like, hey, babe, I want to start flipping houses again. And she tells the story a lot better than I do because basically I dropped this bomb on her lap and she grew up more traditional, like you just work until you retire. But she went along with it. And we ended up doing the same thing I did in college, knocking on doors for pre-foreclosures. Bought a deal first month, ended up being one of our top grossing deals ever. Very significant deal because it's ultimately what allowed me to go full time in real estate. But ended up knocking on this door of this pre foreclosure. It was the one and only deal that she actually went on the inspection with me. Smelled horrendous. I mean, you know what the deals are. I
Yep.
smelled money. She smelled all the other things in the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she politely excused herself while I took that deal down. We ended up renting it out for a few years and then sold it for well, it was over $100,000 gross profit. But fast forward that, so I ended up getting licensed in 2014. Still
Yep.
had a job, but in 2015, that deal we sold for 100,000. Another deal that we had bought shortly after that deal that Jamie and I bought together sold for about 120,000 gross profit. And then we had another deal that we had bought earlier that we had sold for, it was probably closer to a $50,000 profit. So it was these three consecutive deals, like bam, bam, bam. And then my employer cut my salary in half.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, we've got this whole real estate thing going and the proof of concept is there. We've got the groundwork and foundation there. We're to the point where we could probably start scaling. And then on top of that, we got some pretty good paydays.
Hmm.
And then my employer, which I was already kind of getting bored and disinterested with it, they cut my pay in half. So that was 2015, decided to go full time. So I ended up quitting my job. It was nothing. There's no grand ceremony in the actual quitting process or going to HR and doing that. So it was nothing YouTube worthy. But all in all, we went full scale and flipping because now I needed income. We were buying rental properties. We did a couple flips, but now we needed income. So we started flipping. That's how we were paying bills. And since then, we flipped 200 or so houses. But today, our main focus is buying rental properties,
Yep.
building wealth and passive income. Because ultimately, flipping houses, wholesaling houses, it's a great way to make money, and you can make a lot of money doing it. But it's really no different than the real estate agent doing commissions.
Yep.
Because once you wholesale a house, once you flip a house, the income's gone. Like,
Yep.
I mean, you get it, but you'll never get any more income from that transaction
Yep.
again.
Yep.
But when you buy a rental, you've got multiple streams of income, whether it's equity gain, appreciation, tax depreciation, and then cash flow through the actual rent. So, and we realized that most of our best deals were from rentals. So we started scaling back on the flipping in 2018 and allowing us to actually hold more rentals. And then now, as of recently, we closed on a 384 unit, or we're general partners in a 384 unit multifamily property in Florida. So that's the main focus now, is more the wealth building passive income game versus the very, very exhausting sometimes active flipping.